If you want to prove the doctrine of the Trinity, don't use Genesis 18 and 19. That's not friendly territory.
How's the relationship between God and
Me and the Pope? No, I'm kidding. It's not going well at all. But I'm working on it. We're working on it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. But God and the Jewish Messiah, because Christians will say, well, because of the Trinity relationship, the Triune relationship between Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit, God is the Messiah technically because Jesus is God. And they'll go for the Old Testament, quote a verse from Genesis 126, that is, in Genesis 18, 1 and 2, and say, okay, the Old Testament seems to be, the Hebrew Bible seems to portray God as three different people. Like when Abraham looks up, when he looks up at the Lord, in Genesis 18, 1 to 2, it says, behold, he saw three men. And so a Christian looks at that, oh, Trinity, God's three different
Right.
people.
Shloisha Anoshim, Genesis 18, means three men, right? And those three men, you are to believe, are referring to the Trinity. There are the three gods. Brilliant. Brilliant. Why don't you just go to concordance and look up the word three, and every time it comes up, just put in Trinity. So it collapses really bad, hard, fast. So they're saying that the three men that appeared to Abraham were the three hypostatic entities of the hypostatic union of the Trinity. Lovely. Doesn't work. Genesis chapter 19. So instead of going to Genesis 18, let's keep going to 19. And just so you know, 18 and 19 are a continual story, right? Two of the angels leave Abraham's presence and go to Sodom. How do you know I'm not making that up? Please open Genesis 19, verse 1. So Genesis 18, 1 and 2, but we seem to have forgotten about Genesis 19, 1 and 2. Those are angels. They're not hypostatic entities. They're not the Spirit and Jesus going down to... Now, where do Christians get in so much trouble? You can get in trouble here. If you're not reading Hebrew and you're not reading the entire Tanakh well, there's an unconventional way of conveying information in the Hebrew Bible. I mean, we would never do that today, but in the Jewish scriptures, an angel can be called God. A prophet can be called God, and it's just interchangeable. A judge sitting in a Jewish court, see Exodus 21 and 22, literally is called Elohim. When Moses pleads with God, I'm just not up to delivering the children of Israel. His last argument, I'm an orel sifasayim. I have a speech impediment. That's how Exodus chapter 6 ends, right? Exodus 7, once God says to Moses, okay, you will be a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron, who did not have a speech problem, he'll be your prophet. I mean, he'll talk on your behalf. Doesn't mean Moses was God, right? So that can be exploited. But techasrei me'at melihim, you made him a little lower than, even the book of Hebrews quotes that, a little lower than the angels. The text says God. So people can get into a lot of trouble, and Christians can exploit these texts because no one talks that way today. No one would refer to an angel today as God in Tanakh. It is. So you got to be very careful. And in case you're wondering, those angels are interchangeable with God, see Genesis 19, 13, and 14. We see explicitly, who is destroying Sodom? Who? God or the angel? Well, it depends. The angel is doing what God sends him to do. The word angel in Hebrew is malach, which means a messenger. It's the same word. It's the same word, angelos. That's where the word angel comes from. It means a messenger. So when the messenger does it, God is doing it. So it's a horrible idea. If you want to prove the doctrine of the Trinity, you are much better off quoting from the minutes of the Council of Nicaea, from the Nicene Creed. There you have the doctrine of the Trinity. You have a much wiser idea to appeal to a corrupt text like 1 John chapter 5, verse 7 and 8. Go to that. Don't use Genesis 18 and 19. That's not friendly territory.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה